Okay, so you ready for this? Tesla stock
Mm-hmm.
just shot up 12%
Wow.
the morning after the election.
Really?
Yeah, talk about a plot twist. You'd think
Yeah.
the markets would be a little hesitant
Yeah.
after such a big political shift.
Yeah, for sure.
Not Tesla.
Hmm.
And here's the real kicker.
Okay.
This surge happened right as Trump,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
the guy who once told everyone to skip electric cars,
Right.
claimed victory.
Wow.
It's almost like they're celebrating together.
Hmm.
And that's exactly what we're diving into today.
Okay, cool.
We've got this Forbes article breaking down all the events and potential fallout.
Uh-huh.
And trust me, you're going to want to hear this.
It does seem like we're missing a piece of the puzzle, doesn't it?
Right. It's like everyone expected the market to zig,
Yeah.
and instead it sagged right into Tesla land.
Tesla land.
So what's the connection between Trump's win and Tesla's stock soaring?
Right.
Is this just a wild coincidence, or is there something bigger going on?
Well, let's start with what we know for sure.
Okay.
Tesla's stock hit an all-time high,
Okay.
over $280 a share.
Why?
Practically the moment the election results were in and what was happening at the exact same time, Trump was giving his victory speech, and he specifically called out Elon Musk.
Really?
Not just a mention. He called him a super genius and a new star.
Wait, so Trump is praising the electric car guy?
Yeah,
The same guy he told people to not bother with.
I know, right?
That's wild. You have to explain this to me.
Okay.
And remember, Musk wasn't just a casual observer in all of this.
Uh-huh.
He put a lot of weight behind Trump,
Yeah.
at least $118 million into a political action committee that supported Trump's campaign,
Wow.
making him the second largest donor.
That's a huge show of support.
Right.
And it really signals that Musk probably sees a second Trump term as good for his businesses.
Uh-huh.
Tesla especially.
Now, here's where it gets really interesting. One analyst, Dan Ives from Wedbush Securities, actually predicted this.
He did.
He said a Trump win might seem bad for electric vehicles overall,
Right.
but Tesla would be sitting pretty.
What Ives is getting at is that Tesla's in a league of its own.
Okay.
It's not just competing with other electric car companies. It's competing with everyone.
Yeah.
And Ives thinks Trump's America First policies could play right into Tesla's hands.
Okay, but how?
Well,
What's the secret sauce here that gives Tesla this advantage?
Ives believes Trump's policies could extend beyond just traditional manufacturing. He predicts a renewed focus on domestic energy production,
Uh-huh.
including a possible push for electric vehicle charging infrastructure.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Think charging stations everywhere.
Right.
Now imagine the government actually incentivizing that kind of infrastructure nationwide, and who benefits the most from that?
Yeah.
Tesla, with its massive supercharger network, it's a potential game changer for the entire electric car market, but especially for Tesla.
So while everyone else is scrambling to catch up on charging,
Right.
Tesla's already miles ahead.
Exactly.
That's pretty clever.
Yeah.
But wait, didn't Trump also talk about creating a government efficiency commission
He did?
and specifically mention Musk as a potential leader?
He did, and that raises a whole other set of questions.
Right.
Imagine Elon Musk, with all his big ideas and even bigger personality,
Yeah.
actually having a direct line to the president.
Yeah.
What would that mean for Tesla?
Wow.
For the tech world?
Right.
For all of us?
Yeah.
It's kind of mind-blowing.
It's like something straight out of a movie.
I know, right?
So are investors betting on this potential Musk in the White House scenario?
It's definitely a possibility.
Is that why we're seeing this Tesla stock surge?
Investors love to see growth potential.
Yeah.
And having Musk a known disruptor,
Uh-huh.
potentially shaping government policy,
Right.
that's a pretty powerful signal.
Yeah.
And let's not forget the symbolic power of Trump calling Musk a super genius.
Right.
That kind of endorsement from the newly elected president carries a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Especially in the business world.
Okay, so it's not just about the election results,
Right.
but the potential for a whole new dynamic between Musk and the government.
Uh-huh.
And that could have ripple effects way beyond just Tesla's stock price.
Yeah.
We're talking about the future of technology,
Right.
the future of innovation.
Exactly.
It's a lot to unpack.
It is, and it's important to understand all sides of this.
Right.
We can't forget that the relationship between Musk and Trump has had its ups and downs.
Yeah?
There have been times when they've been on the same page and times when they've butted heads.
Right, because let's be honest,
Yeah.
Musk isn't exactly known for holding back his opinions.
Right.
And Trump can be. Well, Trump.
Yeah.
So how do those two strong personalities navigate this new landscape?
It'll be interesting to see.
We've got a lot more to uncover, so stay tuned. We're just getting started.
For sure. Remember back in March when Trump said in an interview that electric vehicles cost too much and will all be made in China?
Oh, yeah. He practically scoffed at the whole idea of electric cars.
Right.
It's pretty ironic considering his current praise for Musk.
It really shows you how unpredictable this whole situation is.
Yeah.
On one hand, you have Trump's skepticism about electric vehicles. And on the other, you have him embracing Musk, who is basically the poster child for the electric car revolution.
So do you think this change of heart is for real? Or is it more about political strategy?
It's hard to say for sure what's going on in anyone's mind, especially someone as complex as Donald Trump.
Right.
But think about it this way. Praising Musk, an American innovator and entrepreneur, fits right in with Trump's America First message.
So you're saying it's less about a genuine love for electric cars and more about using Musk as an example of American success?
It's possible.
Okay.
But there's also another angle to consider.
Okay.
Trump's a businessman at heart.
Right.
He understands the power of a good deal and knows that the electric car market is only getting bigger.
Right.
Aligning himself with Musk could be a way to stay relevant in this rapidly growing industry.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Tesla's not just some niche player anymore.
Right.
They're a major force in the automotive world.
Exactly.
Ignoring that would be a big mistake for any politician.
Exactly. Trump's a pragmatist. And he knows he needs to adapt to the changing times.
Yeah.
Embracing Musk could be a way for him and the Republican Party to show that they're on board with technological advancements and economic growth.
But let's flip the script for a second and talk about Musk.
Okay.
What's his motivation here? Why would he be so supportive of Trump, especially considering they haven't always seen eye to eye?
There are a few possible reasons. First, as we already discussed, a second Trump presidency could create a more relaxed regulatory environment for Tesla.
Right, like those tariffs on Chinese imports that could give Tesla an edge.
Exactly.
Over competitors like BYD and NIO.
Exactly. Second, Musk might see this as a chance to gain some serious influence. And get access to powerful decision makers.
I mean, leading that government efficiency commission would definitely put him in a position of power.
Exactly.
It would be interesting to see how he would define efficiency when it comes to government.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
And of course, we can't forget about the potential for personal gain.
Right.
Musk is a businessman through and through. And any policy decisions that benefit Tesla are ultimately going to benefit him financially.
So it's a complicated web of motivations.
Yeah.
With both Trump and Musk potentially coming out on top.
Right.
But let's bring this back down to earth. What does all of this mean for the average person? Why should they care about this seemingly strange alliance?
That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because the potential implications of a closer relationship between Musk and the government are huge.
Yeah.
On the positive side, it could lead to faster innovation in areas like space exploration, renewable energy, and transportation.
Right.
Musk's ambition and drive, combined with government resources, could really shake things up and lead to some incredible breakthroughs.
That sounds pretty exciting.
Yeah.
But I imagine there are also some potential downsides that we need to consider.
Of course. Anytime you have a concentration of power, whether it's in the hands of a corporation or the government, there are risks. Some people worry that Musk being involved in government could blur the lines between public and private interests, with decisions being made to benefit Tesla rather than the public good.
That's a valid concern. I mean, we've already seen how Musk's personal opinions and business interests can influence his actions.
Right.
Think back to when he used Twitter to try and manipulate Tesla's stock price.
Exactly. And imagine the potential conflicts of interest if he actually had a formal position in the government.
Wow.
It's something we need to be very careful about.
So what does the future hold?
Right.
Is this the beginning of a new era where tech giants and the government work together to achieve amazing things?
Yeah.
Or are we heading down a dangerous path towards corporate influence and unchecked power?
It's a question we can't answer just yet. But what we do know is that the situation with Tesla and Trump is a prime example of how closely intertwined the worlds of politics, business, and technology have become.
Right.
And as we try to navigate this complex landscape, we need to be aware of both the benefits and the risks of these kinds of relationships.
We can't just get caught up in the excitement of new technology without considering the potential consequences.
That's right. We need to have open and honest conversations about the role we want technology to play in our lives.
Yeah.
And set clear boundaries on the power of corporations and the government.
And that includes holding powerful individuals like Elon Musk accountable for their actions.
Absolutely. No one, not even a super genius, gets a free pass.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground.
Yeah.
We've explored the shocking surge in Tesla stock following Trump's victory.
Uh-huh.
Looked at the motivations of both Musk and Trump.
Right.
And considered the potential consequences of them working together.
We've seen how seemingly unrelated events can be connected in unexpected ways.
Yeah.
And how the worlds of politics, business, and technology can collide to create both opportunities and challenges.
But before we jump to any conclusions, it's important to look at the bigger picture.
Right.
This Tesla-Trump situation is just one example of a much bigger trend. The growing influence of tech companies and billionaires on our lives.
Right.
It's almost like we're living in a sci-fi movie where tech giants hold as much sway as governments.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder,
Right.
what happens when those two worlds collide even further?
It's a fascinating question.
Yeah.
And one that's becoming increasingly relevant.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Okay.
What happens if someone like Musk, with his track record of shaking up entire industries, gets even closer to the levers of power?
Yeah.
Could that accelerate innovation in the U.S. in ways we can't even imagine?
Right.
Or are there potential downsides we need to be wary of?
I mean, on one hand,
Yeah.
you could argue that Musk's vision and drive paired with the resources of the government
Right.
could lead to some incredible advancements.
For sure.
Just imagine what they could accomplish in areas like space exploration, renewable energy, or even artificial intelligence.
The potential is definitely there. Musk has consistently pushed the boundaries of what's possible.
Yeah.
And having access to government funding and support could supercharge those efforts.
Right.
But let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Okay.
There are also real challenges to consider.
Right. Things like navigating the bureaucracy and political gridlock.
Exactly.
That can often stall government initiative.
Exactly. And we can't forget about the potential for things to go off track.
Right.
Whether it's mission creep or even the misuse of power. When you combine ambitious individuals with vast resources and government authority, there's always a risk of unforeseen consequences.
So it's a bit of a gamble then.
Yeah.
A high-stakes game with the potential for huge rewards, but also significant risks.
That's a great way to put it.
Okay.
And it's a gamble that we as a society need to be fully aware of. We need to have open and honest conversations about the role we want technology to play in our lives and what limits we want to place on the power of both corporations and the government.
It's not enough to just sit back and be amazed by the latest gadgets.
Right.
Or cheer for the success of companies like Tesla.
Yeah.
We need to be active participants asking tough questions.
For sure.
And demanding accountability from those in power.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
The future isn't something that just happens to us.
Right.
It's shaped by the choices we make today. The more informed and engaged we are, the better equipped we'll be to navigate the complex challenges and opportunities that lie ahead.
Well said.
Thanks.
I think that's a perfect takeaway for our listeners.
Yeah.
This isn't just about Tesla stock or even Elon Musk.
Right.
It's about understanding the forces that are shaping our world. And taking an active role in shaping our future.
For sure.
We've explored the connection between a surprising stock surge and a complex political landscape.
Right.
But the conversation doesn't end there.
It's just the beginning.
Yeah.
We encourage you to continue exploring these issues, asking those tough questions, and engaging in thoughtful discussions about the role of technology, business, and government in our lives, because ultimately the future is in our hands.
Well, that's it for this deep dive. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for having me.